Hey, screwdriver, do you hear me? Hey guys, nice to see you again. Hey Jocelyn. And today I'm going to paint a little bit of castle environment inspired by Dark Souls. So let's go and try to paint something. I found that it's a little bit difficult to paint and to talk on foreign language, and usually you make a piece of shit instead of creating a good picture. Славься, Владислав. Actually, guys, do you hear me or not? Can you say something? Can you hear me, guys, or not? What's going on? Oh, you hear me. Okay, awesome. Cool, man. So let's start to draw something. Everything is okay. Awesome. But guys, how could you join so fast? I mean, I just pressed one button and you were in. Cool. Show us something awesome. I'll show you something awesome. Screwdriver, look at this. Look at this. Especially for you, I'll show a super secret weaponry technique, concept art technique. Look at this, man. Look at this. Now you can check your perspective, just like cool man, like a boss. Absolutely nothing difficult. You take polygon tool, this one, or by pressing U on your keyboard, U and Shift U. Okay, here is the polygon, and by default we have this guy, you see? So this is the default shape. But you can do this .99 here, go here, press star, press 99 here, and boom, you have a star. You see? here you have a star. And with this star, okay, let's kill this yellow polygon. You take this star and you scale it like this. Very huge star. And then you move it, and then you establish your 3 or 2 point perspective. You see? So usually we have 2 point perspective, but here I wanted to create 3 point perspective because, you know, when you look on something from the bottom, like, let's see, this is the ground. What the hell is going on?
What are you doing?
Like, this is the ground, okay?
Looking at the world.
Whoa. What the fuck? Okay, this is the ground. And this is your camera. And this is your object, okay? And you watch it from the low point. So now your object will look more epic because you see it from below. So in fact it will, in your shot, it will look like this. Imagine you're watching on a very high building. So if you want to emphasize the epicness of what's going on, you should behave like that, right? And here is your composition, these little guys. And don't forget a spaceship here, which is flying, and the little dude here. With a spear in his hand and the little flag. Yeah, now your composition is epic, okay? So that's it. That's why you need 3 point perspective, because usually you use 2 point perspective, which is, here is your horizon, and here is your, I don't know the English equivalent of this points, but this is your 2 point perspective. Now you can see it's not so epic, unless you put the huge spaceship here and the little guy here with a spear and a little flag. Now your composition looks much better. You put here your logotype, like that, and drop it to ArtStation. So that was the reason why. Yeah, exactly. That was the reason why I've chosen that 3 point perspective here, which is this guy. No, this one. The right point and the left point. And you can see I've chosen different colors to, you know, now it makes sense. You know, there is a special plugins for perspective, but I don't use them because I'm lazy. I have this life hack, so I don't need it. So that's how I build the perspective when I don't use 3D, and this really works, you know.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a
What
while.
are some other tricks used to achieve the epic feel in drawings? Can you talk about a few other tips to make drawing more epic? Well, I guess there is another trick that you can use in your composition is to add a girl in a very short skirt with big stuff, shield, I mean shield, and a very big sword like this. Now it's look epic. Does it make sense, guys? You see what happens? Now it's much more epic. Cool. Okay, now everything I say is understood as a joke. Yeah, man, that's right. So maybe it might be interesting for you that I will my stages of this painting. Screwdriver. I think it will be interesting for you, I guess. So I'll show it for you. So I have some overpainting here with my tree. So I'm gonna place it here. So red. So I usually save the stages of my picture by pressing Ctrl J on my keyboard. Whoops. And here is the breakdown of the picture. So you see, it was the first stage, now tree. So I wanted to create some, let's say, abandoned castle mood, like a lot of fog and like ruins and a huge stairway which like somehow leads to the point of interest, which is situated according to the rule of thirds, right? So the rule of thirds the rule of thirds rules, you know, is the most common rule of composition. So I'm not trying to create something super crazy interesting, but I'm just trying to stay in shape in terms of composition. So that was my goal for today. So here is our main direction of, let's say, character maybe. So it's some kind of fan art for Dark Souls, so that's why we have this kind of understanding of what's going on. And I guess I hope that our eye will move here and then there, because it's something like a stairs here, and here is the door, like a gate, so maybe like a checkpoint or something, and then we go somewhere. So here we can add some marks, so user will see that he's following this path, this track. So this is the main direction of our movement, okay? And at the same time, I have these guys, like this huge, let's say, curve, which helps to organize our composition, because this is the really part of the big circle, right? We can draw it here, yes. So this is the part of the circle, but it's not a circle, it's a curve and this curve have this area where also situated our point of interest. Okay, oh, it looked like it did, but it doesn't matter. Like a boob, giant boob. Okay, forget it. So, just here we have our point of interest, and when we combine this method with this, and with a rule of thirds, our eye will lead us exactly here, so composition will help us to show what do you want to do. So that was like a 3-minute sketch, black and white, like this. So we have a main idea of stairs, ruins, castle, mountains. So actually we have our story in just 3 minutes. It was like a thumbnail. So that's why you need to draw thumbnails, actually. Whoa. Because when you draw a lot of thumbnails, you can easily drop your idea on paper, or on Photoshop. Okay, so this was the first stage, and you see in the next stage I started to add some, not details, but some kind of architecture stuff, which shows me that this is the castle, which is a medieval castle perhaps, because these arcs are very typical for medieval castles, because in Gothic castles they have this kind of arcs, which is a bit different style of architecture. So I'm going to push this picture in this direction with this arcs, and yeah. So on this stage I didn't introduce this perspective grid because I wanted to feel free, right? I just painted. You see, I started to add some little details, like maybe just to emphasize the scale. I put the statue and I put the stairs here. Just now I know that there's a stairs. And here's the really good life hack about these architectural elements. At first, oh, I found this later. At first, you draw it. Just give me a second, guys. Here. First, you draw this kind of thing, like a structure. Just create new layer. Oops. Control Shift N, and then you have new layer. You take the brush, run down, and just draw a line by holding Shift. when you hold shift, you draw straight line. And then I copy it by holding Alt. I press, you see my layer, I hold Alt and then I drag and then I have a copy of my layer. I merge them down. Now it's the one layer. Again, press Alt and Shift and duplicate those layers. And again, merge them, and then duplicate again. Merge, duplicate. Okay. So now I have some kind of like a structure. And now, what I will do, I will duplicate it, save it, and then I will match perspective like this. Control T to transform it, and then I hold Control and I just holding those little squares to adjust my perspective. So now you see I have stairs. It's not a perfect stairs, not perfect 3D stairs, but it's some kind of a hint. Okay, so now I can adjust them a little bit better. So you see now I have stairs here. Okay, just no effort. Of course I will turn on my perspective grid. Just I don't need this for a moment. So you see now our perspective is fine here. It mustn't be perfect because it's a concept sketch. We don't need to make a super clean perspective. We just need to create the idea of perspective, which really works, right? When you will give this concept sketch to 3D guys, 3D designers, they will perfectly understand what to do with this perspective, right? So you just have to keep it in mind. Okay, so that's the easy way. So especially when you draw architecture and you don't have enough time to use 3D, or I don't know why you don't use it. You just don't want to. You can use these things, and with this you can also draw an element. For example, you can draw an architecture element, or just to find it in Google or whatever. So you can make something like that, which looks, I'm just showing an example. Yeah. Okay. You can make it better, of course, but then you can transform it and adjust into according to your perspective grid and just drop it here, so you can make doors and windows and stuff like that. You mustn't draw it here, especially if it's a complicated symmetrical thing. It's much easier to draw it in a front view and then adjust perspective. So just keep it in mind. Okay. So here I started to adding a color. I started to add a color, and I will show you how I do it. You might notice that I have cold color here and a little bit warmer here. So, and I have this very warm color here, and this combination of colors gives me a chromatic how to say it? I forgot this word, guys. Chromatic contrast, and that what makes your picture, let's say, colorful. Okay, you don't need to use much color, so your picture won't look like a rainbow. You don't need to put yellows, like very yellows here. Come on, baby, what's going on? Ah, okay. What is going on? Ah, okay. Here we go. So you mustn't use yellow here, green here, blue here, like a little bit red here. No. That's not a good way to colorize your picture. Your picture will look like a rainbow, and that won't give you the feeling of the space and the feeling of the beautiful colors, and I'll show you how I do it. And that's only let's say one method. There is a lot of methods, and everybody is showing with his own method, but I've chosen this one. So I have this black and white sketch. It's not perfect, it's just idea of castle and composition. So I just spent maybe 10 minutes to draw this guy, and let's Control J, and now I press Control L, and I have my levels. Control L. You see, I still have it on one layer. So this is the one layer. It's just my point of view. I just love to draw on one layer. That's you can draw on different layers. It's your how to say. It's your own preference. So I just press Control L, and then, as you can notice, you have this little guy here, which controls your values, and this is pretty straightforward how to use it. It's pretty intuitive, these little guys, but here you have this little window, and then you have your channels, so you can adjust your channels. So I have in mind, so my idea was I wanted to have this picture a little bit blue and green, so it will be the general color of this picture. So if I want to make this picture a little bit blue and a little bit green, I need to go to red color, red channel, and adjust this little guy, this little slider. Now you see my picture have values, and now it's a little bit more cyan. Yeah? And I can go to other channels. You see it's too green, maybe a little bit purple. Okay. I go to blue channel. You see too blue, too green. No, I want to have something like that. So like cinematic color, or let's say just press OK. But then I need chromatic contrast, which doesn't mean that I have to put here extra yellow color. No, it doesn't mean that. I just need a really slightly warm light here because it goes like from above, and it is connected with this idea of this, let's say, a way through composition. Yeah, so we are going from the dark to the light through this curve, like through these gates. So I want to emphasize this state. I want to emphasize this idea by using color. And so I go to my layer, which is still one layer. I just take soft brush, and then I choose something like orange, color, and if you want, I will explain why I use this color. There is a reason why I'm not using red or green or yellow, and why I use orange. So I use this some kind of, and I go here to the linear dodge, and then I put my brush like opacity very low, and just starting to add some little bit of light. Here we have some, this point is too light, so maybe just we go to normal. Just will kill this light because it's distractive. There's too much contrast here because our main point is here, I guess. Right? According to our rule of thirds. Yeah. And here, I guess. It looks like an aim for our, let's say, player. Yeah. I will explain just in 2 seconds. So that's why I just killed this contrast. And actually really keep your eye on this contrast, okay? Because the most strong contrast, I mean value contrast and color contrast, should be situated near your points of interest. All other things you have to just calm down a little bit. So like this might be a bit too distractive. So I need to, a little bit later I will add some more contrast here. As you might notice here, I added some lights. So now I have like a lighting scenario. Usually, if you see the sky pretty clear, you usually can take a photo and drop it in the background, so you will understand how shadows go and what is the color of the sky and stuff like that. But now here I have just this color and it's enough for me for now. And I will explain why I use orange color. So maybe you remember this fellow. Just a simple circle. Here you have purple. You have actually 12. I'll just drop an image from the internet. Just the first image. Just give me a second. Here. I guess you know this little guy. So what I want to emphasize is these couples of colors. This and this, this and this. Yeah. Wait. Somebody's. And these colors are called. I forgot the English name, so I will quickly translate it. English. So these colors are additional colors, and if you place this blue with this orange, so this orange will emphasize this blue, yes, and this blue will emphasize this orange, so this orange will look like a little bit more orange when you place the blue color around. Yeah, so if you take this orange and let's say place it here, you can see that when you place this orange on this blue background, this orange is you just start to look at this point, but here you just see the red spot, like a red square. So I use this method when I start to paint, and here to emphasize this blue, it's not a blue like super saturated color, but you can see here, you can start to add a little bit more black and a little bit more gray. Yeah, and this color will become more closer to the gray, but it's still a little bit blue. Yeah. So I just catch this. So you see it a little bit green, more closer to this guy. So here I will just take this color and place it here, and it's still, and these two colors are still blue and orange, right? So now they have this chromatic contrast, and you can pick the color like this, which will still be a little bit orange, and the color like this, which will still be a little bit blue. That's how you create this very tiny nuance let's say, right? So you mustn't pick saturated colors. You can use like very pastel soft values and very pastel colors, and but it's still but you will still have this chromatic contrast, which is good for your picture. So your picture will look colorful and not black and white, right? Does it make sense, guys? Okay. Nobody's saying nothing. So actually this is the only one of the methods how to put colors together. There is really much theories about colors and stuff like that, and actually you have very good application for that called ENG-RUS, which you can buy. It costs maybe $10, something like that. So and there you have so you just have to watch through this plugin. It's really useful. Everybody using this plugin, but I don't, because I have this window, and actually you have it in Photoshop. You have this color wheel, right? But in ENG-RUS it's a bit more complicated. So that's how I make decisions about my color, right? Whoops. Sorry. Goodbye. Actually, we can choose another color scenario. Let's say it's a picture, black and white, and I Control J, go to my levels, and I want to make it purple, okay? So I go to green, make it a little bit purple, like magenta a little bit. And maybe add some blue, just slightly. So now a little bit more magenta, and maybe desaturate it a little bit, but it still has this magenta vibe, let's say. So now I will choose maybe according to my color wheel. It's actually not like a math. It's, you have to feel it, you know. It's a lot about feeling. So if you want to press, you see you have a lot of values here, like this. It's just try to feel how is it going. You know, it's not a math. It's not a math. So let's go to color dodge. By actually you can press Shift Alt W to go to linear dodge mode, and by pressing Shift Alt and N you will go back to normal, and by pressing Shift Alt M you will go to multiply, and every blending mode has his own combination, and it's set by default, and it's really useful. So just take a note for yourself, it's really useful. So by pressing Shift Alt W I go to linear dodge, and although it's too much a little bit, it's a little bit too much. So maybe it's not a perfect color for this, but maybe a little bit like that. Go to, yeah, you see it's a little bit different color scenario, and you will saturate it a little bit more and more and more, but this method will allow you to control your colors because you don't want to have a lot of colors in your picture. All right, you just want to have 2 or 3 because you have a color palette, you know, your colored palette. It's not a rainbow, right? So you will have maybe 4 or 5 colors in your picture, like let's say this color, this like orange maybe, or a little more red, like maybe this one for lights, maybe this one for your medium values, and maybe black, which looks like that. So this is something like it looks like color harmony, but you don't want to have but you don't want to put this color here and this color here and this one and this one. This is too much. So these colors doesn't make sense in this picture, right? In this mood, they don't work for your composition. So that's why you have to cut. You have to cut a lot, and you have to cut your colors too. So you have to have like a system to control it, right? Does it make sense? Hello, it's Magic. It's Magic. Hey man or lady. Unfortunately, I don't know your nickname. I'm sitting in the office. Or я сижу в офисе. Вот сюда. Потому что здесь быстрый интернет на отдачу. So you just delete those colors. Okay, I have this color palette in my mind because I was watching Dark Souls stream. Actually, I really recommend because you don't have a lot of time to play games, but you really have to know what's going on in the game world. So Twitch streams are really useful for artists, for digital artists, because you can just watch the game and just look to the environments and to the characters and how do they behave and how light goes on. And so this is really much better. It's much more useful than watching screens, because you see it in action, right? So in terms of environment, I'm not saying about gameplay and character art and stuff like that. It's amazing in Dark Souls, but if you concentrate on environment art, then you will find a lot of interesting stuff in Dark Souls in terms of lighting, color, compositions, and stuff like that. I really recommend it because there is absolutely amazing. This game is absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't seen it before, just go and do it. I will drop you. No. You could just find it. It's okay. It's easy. So that's why I had this palette in my mind. But I will just use this one because you know, it's the color of lights inside of the picture. So, like artificial lights, which will give me an additional contrast, chromatical contrast, which I really need. So let's go to the next stage, which is this. You see this picture, I like this picture even better than this one, because it's a little bit too, like, maybe not so colorful. So on this stage I started to add these little fires, right, like candles. Yeah, Dark Souls. And also Bloodborne, they have this method of lighting also, like they place a lot of candles in their environment, and it's really amazing if you think about that. It's really cool. And actually in terms of game design, it's also a really good thing, because you can, so you have a really desaturated environment. It's not saturated, it's really very calm colors, almost gray. And when you place this orange, whoa, this guy is not from our, when you place here this orange contrasts, right, or not, maybe orange, a little bit more red, because according to our according to this color wheel, so look, these colors are situated maybe here, or maybe this one. So they increase each other, so that's why these lights looks pretty fine in this picture. I can't say that it's like absolutely perfect, but it looks fine. Okay, I can say that. And in terms of game design, these colors give us like a point in our composition, because this is some kind of like a way you can place this little spots of light to show and to help your player to move through your location, through your let's say this way, right? So this is another tool how to help the player to move according to this road, right? From here to there, right? And because of our desaturated environment, these lights looks like absolutely bright, and they look like fire. Yeah. This desaturated environment emphasizes these lights and makes the picture really interesting in terms of color. That's my opinion about like this very pastel colors and these saturated spots. Oh, this is our little friend. Let's drop him here. So here you can see I started to just draw, and I want to have these stairs here. You see I started to add some more details, like little points of light here and there. And you see I already have my color palette in my painting, right? You can even notice that this color is a little bit out of what I want to show. I mean, this color is maybe not so good, so maybe I need to use this little cold. More color, so it will look much better. So now you have this door, and you can see it looks like a stairs. Like adding little lights, like candles, which can be here and there. I'm not creating an illustration. Yeah, it's not an illustration. It's the concept art for a game, right? So actually, it's not a concept art for a game. It's a example of concept art of for a game, for like RPG game, because you have this way that you have to go through and move. Because this is how RPG games works. You have the way, you have the character who have this little spear and a little flag. No. You have the sword and who runs through the map, like along the road. So actually, our player always has this composition in front of his face, which have to help him to follow this way, right? So composition have to help the player to run through the map, because sometimes it's a lot of details in the map, and you have a lot of tiny stuff which is really distracting, and sometimes you don't understand where to go. And I think that one of the goals of game artists is to hold an eye of the player on the right direction. That's my point of view how it works. So, anyways, and so this is it's not the final stage, but this is the stage. I don't have any more stages, and what I started to do here, I added like a tree here, which added like a more desperation. This tree without leaves, like pear tree or bald tree. These dry branches looks like dry aggressive fingers or stuff like that. So no leaves. So if you go and watch Dark Souls, you will find all this little stuff, all these little details which provide this atmosphere of fear and desperation, and this. But if you will analyze the color system in this game, you will find that there is no like dumb gray areas. You will not find these like gray colors. Every time there is like a tiny red or tiny blue atmosphere, like tiny blue background, and there is like a very nice little spots of soft light, and it looks absolutely awesome, absolutely very classic and cool, So that's what I want to. That was my goal in this painting. It's magic. Какие проги для 3D пробовал и какие юзаешь и почему? Можно я по-английски отвечу, будет понятно, или по-русски ответить? I will wait for the answer, so when I will see the chat, I will answer. to your question. Okay, awesome. I use 3D code more often because it's really easy to provide Boolean operations in this program, right? So unfortunately I don't have this program at my computer at my work at the moment, but I'll show you. It's really easy to show. If you have like a piece of clay in 3D code, let's say this is a piece of clay in 3D code. Okay. Come on, man. Yeah. So this is the piece of clay in 3D code. You can take a lasso and make this thing. Delete. Boom. And then turn this around and make another thing. Boom. Delete. Or you can take a lasso and do this. Delete. So, and this is really fast and intuitive. So that's why for most of my 3D, let's say, tasks, I will choose 3D code. But when I have like interior or huge architecture or something like that, maybe I will use 3ds Max. I will finish and then I will talk to the chat. Maybe I will use 3ds Max because this is the program for creating interiors where you can put like centimeters on millimeters or meters. You have metric system there, and in 3D code in ZBrush you don't have metric systems, and you can't make a chunk which is 20 meters long, right? And in 3ds Max or Maya you can do it, but you cannot add like thousands of million polygons, and you can't make organic things there. So that's why you have to really choose between those two programs, or between ZBrush and Maya and 3D Max, or between 3D code and Maya and 3D Max, to draw your paintings, because these are all amazing programs, and you just have to really understand why do you use it, because some things are really in some things it's really easy to create in 3ds Max, like let's say like this shape. It's let's imagine that this is the volume, right? It's super easy to create it in 3D Max, like 3 minutes, and you will have like this lattice structure. And you will be able to render it, or I don't know, drop into Keyshot or in V-Ray or Octane, right? But to create this stuff in 3D code, it's like, oh, it's possible, I guess, but it's really difficult. I have no idea how to create it in ZBrush, but in 3D Max, it's really easy to create this kind of object, right? But to sculpt a skull, let's say, you will definitely take a ZBrush, I guess. Okay, here is the questions. Look show. Hello, nice to see you here. You give solid knowledge. I really like your timing the dragon concept. Maybe in the future you'll show your workflow in this kind of concept. Awesome, man. I will. Thank you for your nice words, and I definitely will. If you really need to, I will share, because you know, you will like it. And thank you for the question. Hey yo, I'm Wes. I'm drawing a project and I'm using Nicole. Awesome. Thank you, Jocelyn. What kind of project? What? Okay. So let's go back to the picture. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask. Like, even I don't think that there is silly questions. So feel free to do it. So that's what I wanted to say about. That's what I wanted to say about 3D programs. And you know, the trends in the industry, it seems like everybody is learning 3D. Yeah. So I guess, you know, almost in every position of like a 2D artist in the industry, you will have this the words like, it's nice if you know 3ds Max or ZBrush, blah 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 blah. So learn 3D and don't afraid to learn Maya and 3ds Max or Softimage or Modo, doesn't matter, I guess, because these are heavy and complicated programs, but they will open the door into the 3D programs in general. Because after 3ds Max, 3D code is really easy. Yeah. But actually, well, you have to understand what kinds of tasks you are working on. But really, it's really easy. And you know, actually, if you're like if you're just 2D artist and you're not planning to use 3D in your painting, or you want to be like Jamie Jones or let's say like Craig Mullins or somebody like those guys, the 3D will it will be useful for you because it gives an understanding of form, understanding of perspective, especially if you draw an architecture. You will have really clear understanding of what's going on with light, with materials, with perspective, with scale. So this will be extremely helpful. In ideal world, I would recommend you to learn complicated 3D software like 3ds Max or Modo or Maya, and a program like ZBrush or 3D Code to sculpt things and to do like fast concepts. Like I will write it down here, like 3ds Max, Maya, Model. It's really good to model architecture in those programs, where you have to, where you want to have like measurements. Let's say, oh, I have a better idea. Let's have some fun, guys. I hope you will like my sense of humor. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just to have fun, okay? So let's say this is a ruler 0 to 1. Okay. ZBrush 3D code for sculpting. Let's say it's a piece of clay, and to organic stuff, like say it's a creature design or stuff like that. But also, actually, you can make an environment in ZBrush in 3D code. It's up to you. You can check through the Learn Squared 3D code course by Chama Jurabayev, and you will see the power of 3D code. Yeah, you will need to learn, I guess, like simple render like Keyshot. For fast rendering, which is really time saving, right? And in ideal world, you should learn like Octane, V-Ray, Mental Ray, which really gives you an understanding, like a really deep understanding how light behaves, and how camera behaves, and because there is a lot of things in camera adjustments, it's almost like real. So V-Ray, Mental Ray, I guess Octane also, but Octane is maybe a little bit easier than V-Ray. It will give you an understanding how things are going in life in terms of lighting. So it will be a really helpful thing to you. Yeah, I guess. But if you're a 2D artist and you are not familiar with 3D programs, then go and learn ZBrush or 3D code and Keyshot, because it's the fastest way. If you have time, go and learn 3ds Max, Maya, Modo, Octane, V-Ray, because you will have fundamentals of understanding of perspective, lighting, camera, like FOV, blah 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 blah, like all of this stuff. It will really help you to, because 3ds Max, XCI maybe, these programs are easier than this, and Keyshot is much more easier than Octane, V-Ray, and Mental Ray. It's like 10 times, 20 times easier. And actually, check the Learn Squared course about 3D code. Because if you're a 2D artist, it will be really easy to you to just jump in 3D. Using 3D code, you will be able to create environments and characters and props and stuff like that, because it's really how to say, it's easy to learn when you're 2D artist. Actually, you can drop 3D model in Photoshop, and maybe they will develop this thing, I guess, in a few years. So you will have to learn 3D if you're a 2D artist. So that's just a question of time. So that's it. Actually, there are some guys who learn SketchUp because it's free, and they make absolutely crazy, super awesome stuff in SketchUp. Just a tool. I guess there is no question what is better, Maya or 3D Max. It's just what is your goals in life? What do you want to do? Because I guess in environment you have also different tasks, like you can make pre-production stuff, you can make concept art, you can make illustrations, and that's different things, right? It's absolutely different tasks. It's not absolutely different, but it's different. It's different, really. А какой твой goal in life? Well, my goal in life. Do you mean like maximum goal? The name of my studio is Synesis. Okay, I'll try to answer this question. That's a complicated question, actually. My goal in life? Well, I want to create something interesting for me and for other people. Get money for it. Good money for to live, for having a family and stuff like that. And I want to be passionate about what I'm working on. It's like general stuff, right? Of course, there are some goals that I cannot mention here because it will be like too personal, maybe. But in general, I guess, like be healthy and be happy and create interesting, useful product. And maybe one day I will be able to create my like very personal stuff, like personal graphic novel or like something like that. Like, but actually I don't have enough to say at the moment, like in terms of like art, right? Because you know, a real piece of art is not only to draw something like a beautiful thing, like a beautiful picture, beautiful lens, but also you have to say a great idea, right? You have to show something, to give something to people, right? Like more than a beautiful picture, and not more than interesting story. Yeah. That's what I think. So if you are able to do it, then man, cool. There is actually different opinions about blah 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 blah. Which perspective to use? Чем работать? Maybe in 10 years, maybe I really want to do like awesome concept art. Really interesting concept art. This is maybe my goal for let's say 7 years or 10 years, something like that. So I feel like I can do it. I need to learn a lot, of course, like everybody, but I feel like I can do it, and I can be useful in this field. I have some ideas, I have some skill, right? But later, well, that's a tough question. What perspective tool do you use? That's very easy, absolutely easy. This is actually not a perspective tool, it's like a life hack, let's say. It's situated here. It's a polygon tool actually. Look. I go to polygon tool, and by default you have 6 here, you have 50% here, and you don't have this little box here. So by default your shape is this, or this, it doesn't matter. But you can make actually a star. You see, now you have a star, or like this, you have a star. And here sides, in this little window you put 99. So now you have a star like this, and here you put 99 also, and now you have star like this. Okay. So this is something like a perspective grid. So you just scale it, and you just put it here, because it's a 3-point perspective. So 1 point is really high, and you duplicate it by holding Alt. Now you have another star, you put it on the left according to your perspective, maybe like this. I mustn't be very precise here, because it's not a goal in this picture. If I want to be precise, I will use 3ds Max, obviously. So there is the ideal perspective, okay? And then I copy this guy again and place it on the right. And you see? Now I have 3-point perspective, just in 1 minute. But then I make different colors to those guys. And now I have green for upper point, red for left, and green and orange for right, but you can choose your own colors. So now you have grid, actually. You can group, lock, and hide. And now you have grid whenever you need it. And when you place a new detail in your background, you can always check. Like, I want to put like a tower, for example, here. I check my perspective. No, not this one. You see? It makes sense. Or here, look at this guy. it doesn't match the perspective grid. So I will change this a little bit. Well, actually, where is my original perspective? This is an example, and this is the perspective. Okay, you see, this guy doesn't match my perspective grid, so I changed it a little bit. Right. Actually, it's a very simple tool. It's not a tool, it's just a, I don't know, just a thing. Nothing special. Let's flip our canvas. And well, actually I stopped to talk. I wanted to talk about these lights. Yeah, which leads our eye to the center, the composition center. Not this center, but this center. Yeah, so now our door is perfectly situated in this rule of third thing, and here we can place a fire, like so it will match. Like very good. So it's something around here. Why not? Why not to put it here? Because I didn't want to draw like a, you know, this guy who's running on the, whoa, easy and fast way. You didn't know that. Door, ah, cool, man. Just use it. So now our, like maybe the most the hugest contrast will be here, maybe, I guess. And I really want to show you one thing which I've discovered not so many time ago about the foreground. So look at this candle, right? This little candle. I actually can draw this candle just in front of my camera, right? So it could be like this column with fire here, for example. Yeah. And we can go to our textures. Where's the textures? Where's my textures? Textures is here. Wait a second. Give me a second. Patterns, planets, rain, roofs, skies, temperatures, trees. No, I don't have it. I will quickly go to Google and find texture. Okay, let it be this texture. Control V. But we need to take a more high-res picture, but let it be like this. Put it on a linear dodge and put it here, like that. And just erase this. Maybe this is not a perfect texture, but what this gives us is this deepness of the shot, which is really, really important. It's important, and it's really useful in terms of having a space in your shot, because our picture is flat, absolutely flat, and our goal is to make the space, to show a space. That's why we use perspective grid, that's why we use the scale, and that's why we have a very tiny details here and these guys just in front of our camera. So if we go, let's say this is our camera, this is our camera, okay, we are shooting. So this is the commercial. This is the window. It's a kitchen. And this is the fake bathroom, for example. Here is the guy watching his cell phone, sitting behind the sets. And here. I used to work in the cinema and in commercials, so that's why I know this stuff. So sometimes you need to show the foreground. So that's why you can put the table here and, for example, put like a flowers like that. So you have something which is extremely close to your camera and which gives you this feeling of the foreground. So here, this guy has this function because the most of the pictures that you find in on the internet, they don't have this very close foreground, and they look more flat, you know. So that's why you can use these things, and so you can draw like a huge stone here and like drop some light, like place a texture, like draw a stone or whatever. Okay, like draw like tiny particles. Actually particles. Actually, if you will go and check modern computer game, video game, I mean, of course it's a computer game, you will notice that, especially in RPG games, but in shooters and stuff like that, you will find this lots of stuff with little particles which are floating in your composition. These particles, it might be snow or rain or whatever, or atmospheric effect, or no matter what, but some particles are really close to your camera, right? Or some particles could be even toward your camera, to your, let's say, just in front of you. And some particles are really far, somewhere very far. So that's how you emphasize this deepness of your composition. This is another tool to emphasize. It. This is a pretty simple idea, but you know, it's not very obvious. You see, this color is too brown for this composition. Let's kill it, because it starts to go a bit, yeah. You usually add this things at the end of your picture, but I sometimes do it in the beginning just to realize how it will look like. So it actually can help to lead your eye through the composition, which actually how to say it? So these tiny lights creates some kind of a rhythm. So if we switch to our scheme, let's create another layer. Let's take another color. For example, this one. So we have this light. This light is a little bit, say it's big. This is smaller. This is extremely small here, right? So we have like a rhythm which also emphasizes this perspective feeling, which helps us to move through the picture, to break this how to say, to break this wall. Because maybe you know that we have two eyes. I will draw a human head from the top. So this is two eyes and this is the nose. Okay. And let's say this is an object. And this eye and this eye, we have this angle between between eyes, and this object is closer, for example, and this object is a little bit further, right? And that's how we perceive the distance. Yeah, you can obviously say that your hand is closer to your face than this tree in the distance, right? And that's how we feel the volume. Okay, but when we take a look on the monitor, it's absolutely flat. Yeah, it's absolutely flat. The picture is absolutely flat. It's a plane. And here's our guy who is watching. And when we watch on the plane, you can see it's solid. You don't have volume. So it will always look a little bit flat. Your picture will always look a little bit flat. So that's why we need this. Whoops. We need this tools to emphasize the perspective, like tiny particles, foreground, rhythm, perspective. Which helps us to emphasize the deepness of the shot. That's important. Really important. Really, really important.
Something special. I know that you're gonna like it. Physical.
seems like these colors are a little bit more interesting than this. So maybe let's try to push a little bit to cyan, maybe. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's play with this tree. Maybe we can. We still have a
She
copy.
never woke up.
We can try to make this tree a little bit bigger.
Not better than the Blue Oyster can be.
My
I
friend,
can't handle better than
This
that.
is like if that blue oyster shit met that Afghan kush I had, and they had a baby, and then meanwhile, that crazy Northern Light stuff I had, and the super red.
Maybe we will do it
snowflake
at the
that
end
had a baby,
of the.
by some miracle, those two babies
See,
met.
maybe this way.
This would be the shit.
Wow.
No, it's not working, I guess. Like this. I don't know, I don't feel like this gives us something yet. So maybe just a little bit. No, this was a good size, I guess. So let's leave it like that. Just give a little bit of cyan color, bluish, a little bit black here. Yeah. Let's leave this tree like that and just forget about it for a moment. And I guess now it's time to check the edges of our picture. What I mean the edges. Like every solid object has like borders in the space, right? And for example, this looks like a stone, I guess. I hope. I'm not absolutely sure about construction of the stairs, because if we will draw it from the top, yeah, it's actually a useful thing, and that's another reason why you should learn 3D, because you will have to manage these questions. You will have to answer these questions immediately when you use 3D, but I'm using 2D now, so that's why I'll try to answer these questions like traditional way. This is the entrance. Okay. So here is the statues. Okay. Here is the main stairs. Great. Let's check it out. Here. So somewhere here we have like a, let's say, like something like that. And after we have these stairs, which looks a little bit strange for me, the direction of the stairs. Looks a little bit strange according to this entrance. But maybe this thing could look like that, and the stairs could go like this, and here we have this randomly situated boxes, and here's fire in these boxes. Wait, like that. And so this is the scheme of our maybe these stairs are a little bit big. It must be a little bit smaller, a lot smaller. So here and here might be like big stairs maybe. And here we have the mountain. And here we have the mountain, and here we have mountains there. Here is the entrance, like a tower. Blah 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 blah. So here we have our camera, and we are shooting to this direction. We see like a big wall here somewhere. Okay, does it make sense? Yeah, I guess so. And here is, I guess, mountains or trees. Maybe like a garden. Okay, maybe like windows, arcs. And here is our road, like a main road of. Yeah. There's like mountains and stuff like that. So it's really, really useful to do some kind of explanation for yourself. So that's how you will be able to answer questions. So this is our road. Okay. So we are not trying to make a level design, but we are trying to say something about this to this location, right? So actually it might look like that. So let's go back to our edges. But first, let's organize our file a little bit, because now we have a lot of layers, you can see. And let's make sense to our, let's delete what we can delete. These guys are particles, and let's wait a second. Particles, this is the background. PG, and I usually duplicate my stages to a specific folder. Which I call process. So I hold all my stages. And this is particles, but we don't need them, so let's delete them. So all this stuff is, what is this? Oh, this is a tree. We need a tree. We don't need this tree, we don't need this tree, we need this tree. And we will put it here. We need our perspective grid, which we can lock. Perspective. And we will lock the perspective and maybe put it to the top. Okay, and those guys, this is just this thing, we will need it. So let's call it stairs. Okay, and these guys, we don't need them. Just group and call it info and drop it to the top. So now our document is more organized, which is really good, I guess, which is helpful. So it's a tree. Okay. So let's duplicate our layer here. So I'm gonna copy, turn off the particles, and let's cut out this shit from the tree. If I cut and whoops, Control E. Okay, let's go back to our borders of our objects. So every solid object has his own specific silhouette, which is pretty sharp, and this specific thing gives us the feeling of finished painting, right? So let's stop for a moment in terms of adding new details in our painting, and let's concentrate on polishing our silhouettes. And just feel confident about our composition. Feel confident about our main elements. Okay, so on this stage it really doesn't matter what's going on inside of this part, unless it's okay with values here, but it's we really need to adjust these edges. So our painting will look finished, or let's say more finished than at the beginning. We can use lasso, or we can use like hard edged brushes, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. In some places like this, we can leave these little gaps, which will make a sense of atmosphere, maybe. But here, like in this particular place, it's better to adjust this edge like that, so it will be really precise and awesome. By holding Ctrl Shift E, we'll invert our selection and we will create this little, let's say, atmosphere
Good morning, me.
effect.
Did you sleep well? Did you wake up feeling good? Do the light, the wind, and the smell and the sound all seem like they're brand new and fresh this morning? Is each and every cell
Like
in your whole
this
body waking
line,
up
for
right
example,
now?
is, we don't
Today,
understand
you
what
are
is it,
why did it?
for example.
You're
Yeah,
still me,
let's
but you're a newer
adjust it.
version. Myself 10
For
years from
now.
It's so far away it's almost impossible to imagine. Am I alone,
Okay.
or is there a wonderful person
Like that.
who
Now
explains
this piece looks
I'm sure you're
really
causing
more
all
finished.
kinds of trouble for lots of different people. I'm sorry.
And you see, we concerned about edges, not about what's going on
It's not
inside.
perfect, but you've got a lot to give, so remember,
This is important
always
thing,
be cheerful.
especially in these particular places where we can see the light and we can see a solid shape. Let's adjust it, especially here. We will add some like reflections, but a little bit later, because the stones obviously will have reflections and like little holes here. But these are tiny details, and we will go back later to those details. We can also put on our perspective, and at the moment, yeah, we can adjust this vertical stuff and horizontal. But my idea was I'll show you. Oops. That these boxes are a bit chaotic, so they don't have structure, and I'll try to show it. Like one box is a little bit bigger, another is a little bit lower, smaller. Maybe it makes sense, maybe not, but at first let's adjust the edges and then we will see what will go next. Maybe it will make sense, but maybe not. We will change it. Hey guys, does it make sense what I'm doing? What can you say? We don't need to polish everything, otherwise it will look like plastic, you know, not so very nice. Every painting, especially concept art painting, have to have this like brushy feeling, like this. I like this like strokes and this little inaccuracy, and it brings life in a painting, in my opinion. Like these textures and like a little bit when because when everything is like polished and verified, it's like a little bit, you know, it doesn't look so appealing to me in terms of art. So some places like this looks fine for me, maybe for now especially, not for it's of course it's not a finished work, but just don't stop. Okay guys, so these brushy strokes, you know, they looks amazing always, especially if you have this brushes, because you are able to introduce these little pieces of texture and stuff like that. It's look very, very natural. But you see this little thing? When we zoom in, it looks like nothing. Yeah, but when we zoom out, it looks like a little light with a little reflection, and it suddenly starts to live, you know, let's say. I like it. I like this thing about this texture brushes and this brushy look, let's say. Yeah, all this little lines looks too right to me. I want to bring some, to destroy a little bit, especially here. But really guys, we have to concern about our edges, of our forms. You see, here is okay, but here this is the solid form, and let's keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind. And if you will take a look on the works of the studio of Naughty Dog, and especially like Eitan Sana, Nick Jindro, Aaron Limonik, and those cool masters like those guys, you will notice that they really concern about edges. And this method, it's not a method actually, it's just a note. Just keep this in mind. Actually, I thought about this thing today, and I just found it extremely important. It's actually a very simple thing, but you know, don't forget about it. So this guy, it looks like this statue is in fog. So we can simply use the lower lasso to show his silhouette. And at the same let's hide this selection by pressing Ctrl H. And let's compare this value and this. Because if we will go to our, let's say, plan, let's Control G. So you can see here is our camera, right? Here is our box, and the statue is fucking here, very far. So the value here will be almost black, and the value here will be really soft. So let's keep it in mind while working. Whoops, sorry. So let's compare this value and this value. So this value should be much softer. So Control H, no more selection. Let's draw another one. And actually at this time we can simplify our shapes. We should simplify them, but it's never too late to simplify. So you can see that you can take a look to this guy and notice that we have this simple shape, right? Like almost a triangle. So I guess it's not so good to introduce like very complicated shapes at the beginning. So just let's try to keep our picture as simple as possible. And at the same time we will care about the values, and maybe just add some light behind this guy. So that's how we can show a space maybe a little bit. So we go to our light source, which is here somewhere, which is might be sun, like in a foggy day, and we can add some light here. To emphasize his silhouette. Actually, you can catch some color from here and just drop it to add some fog. Especially this method, I mean in simplifying and caring about edges, you can find in the works of Sergei Kolesov. He's really mastering in this, let's say, in this, I don't know how to call it in English, but if you will take a look to his paintings, you will find this simplifying lasso technique, let's say.
The bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings
So let's,
because it has a song.
as long as we want to draw this wall, let's check our perspective, which is here. We can simply make a selection, turn off perspective, Control H, and now just simply draw like this. Control Shift E and just paint it back. Whoops. Now you see we have this very accurate line, which we will break, of course, with tiny little details, maybe architectural stuff, because it looks like this line is too dull, maybe. But we start to diving into details, and that's not what we want to do in this on this stage. We just want to adjust the edges of our main composition elements. So let's see what is happening. Oh, we've started to draw on the tree layer. Just let's cut it out. Let's cut it out. So I cut and Control E, tree, and let's lock it. And now we have this one. Okay, let's adjust this line because it's really important in this building. It really shows us how it works. We can just adjust a couple of details. Now we already see how it works. We can break this line a little bit. So. And somewhere here we will obviously have like a part of, I guess, architecture. Let's just make like a benchmark. Oops. Control Shift A, and let's. So now I don't need perspective grid anymore. So. And here I want to emphasize one thing, which I guess is really important. Yeah, check the sparse. Jocelyn, absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, but in this painting I want to keep the brushy feeling and make it a little bit more like hand painted with all those details like that and like that. I don't want to overwork those details, so that's why I use this texture brushes and like pretty loose lasso technique, not like very sci-fi. That's the reason why I choose this technique. So that's what I wanted to notice. So look, we have this guy, we have this guy, and we have this guy. So this guy's massive, this guy's a little bit less massive, and this guy like is in the middle. So what I think we should do is to make this form a really narrow, which will make a contrast with this form. And you see this spaces, they are similar. So maybe in terms of composition, we should place this element here maybe, so it will work better, because we have this huge form, this medium form, and this tiny narrow thing. So maybe let's make it a little even more narrow, like that. So it will work better, because these guys will have a contrast between each other. So that's why. So composition will look more slim, sharp, and like more classy. Let's say that. Let's flip our canvas just to, because we have to do it, and let's go to this. Just so maybe it will be like an architectural element. It will look better. Yes, but maybe not. Who knows? So let's continue our work. Here's our perspective. And what about this wall? What about this wall? Let's try to analyze how this wall works with this building. On this scheme we can see that these two lines has 90 degrees intersection. Maybe it can work like this. Why not, actually? So it seems like this wall goes like this maybe, or even like this. Why not? So maybe it has its own vanishing point. So let's leave it like that, just for a moment. And see what is happening. At least we can adjust this place, but now we have understanding that this is the solid piece, and I don't like this two things, because this line breaks this part on two similar pieces. So I actually don't know yet what to do with this line, but I guess it's maybe it's a good idea to make like a wall, maybe. Maybe not. But what do we want from this line actually? Maybe it should move, it should somehow help our composition to but we don't actually need this contrast at all. So let's, for this time, let's decrease the contrast of this part, because actually I don't know what to do with this part just at the moment, because no, but still we need something here, I guess. Well, I don't know about this place. Maybe let's keep this line, but maybe increase the value of this part, so we will not have this amount of contrast at this particular part, but we will keep this line which leads our eye to the center of the composition, because we really need this element here. It might be a piece of wall, maybe like a piece of architecture, which will make sense maybe. So like it's like a construction of walls, maybe. Anyways, let's leave it like that for a moment. Maybe add like a tiny window, just to have an understanding that this is the part of architecture. Have window here, like tiny pretty detail, like that, maybe. Let's flip. So you see, it start to make sense. I like these loose strokes here. I don't know why, but they really look like, you know. I like those strokes, so I will keep them. But maybe here I will adjust this part a little bit more, and just to make this a little bit more precise. Maybe adjust these forms. So let's emphasize our ambient occlusion in this parts. So that's actually another thing why you should learn 3D, because those ambient occlusions, ambient light, you have to learn it in 3D program, but actually you have it in life and you have to keep it in mind while you painting. So that's really useful knowledge, right? So here we can dive into details a little bit, just to maybe show this bricks. We can show the form a little bit. We can even give some reflection from this lights. So these stones could be a little bit wet, so they will grab a little bit more light on their sides. So we can add like little dots, and you can see this texture make sense on these rocks because usually stones has this textured body, let's say. Okay, what about this part? What's going on here? I don't understand. Ah, it's a part of tree. Let's actually delete it. I can see the problem of perspective right here. It seems like something wrong with this part, but that's okay because it's a sketch. Let's turn on our perspective. And this green grid is actually for these stairs, which has an angle to here, to these stairs, right? They have this angle, so the vanishing point for these stairs will be different. So let's say these stairs have this vanishing point, okay? Let's imagine. And let's go to our, you see? This green grids and these stairs is this little part. So I guess this will have another vanishing point. So let's draw it. I could be wrong. They're not so crazy good at perspective, so let's duplicate it. Hey man, okay. Okay. So here is our thing. Let's make it blue. We have to adjust our horizon at this moment. And let's see what's going on with this thing. Control R. And whoops. Sorry, man. Here. So let's place this blue guy on the horizon also. And let's see what's going on with these guys. Control T, they are almost here. But still we need to adjust this these guys a little bit, but we can also move and try to... Of course you will be more precise when you will go to 3D and all these vanishing points and stuff like that, you will have more correct information, but for now it's okay for now, for us. You can see that these lines have to go here in this direction. Here, let's correct them quickly. See this door. As usual, it's as usual for me. I mean, oh, my English starts to suck a lot. I mean, usually I don't check all this perspective rule at the beginning because I want to stay really loose, you know, like stay free. I want to have a lot of freedom in terms of painting, so that's why I don't check this perspective thing. Oh, hey Roma, what's up to you, man? Maybe we can move our horizon a little bit lower and let's see what will happen if we will do it. Boom, I'm agreed. Let's put this guy off and let's see what will happen. Come on, man. Because I feel like we need to move our horizon a little bit. Unless we have to try it. I mean, at least we have to try it. How does this work? Actually it works, and it works even better. Maybe not for these stairs, but for this part of building and this door, I guess it worked better. And let's try this guy. Yeah, it looks like it works a bit better. This horizon. So maybe let's put this away and let our horizon be here. So we are on the stairs and we don't see the upper part of this stair. Yeah, that's something what I wanted to have. Okay, let's turn on our perspective and let's try to adjust again. You see, we have here our situation is a little bit complicated here. We have a lot of these vanishing points. But it's okay. I can't tell you why it's okay, but I believe it's okay. So let's adjust the stairs a little bit. And see what will happen. Actually, it's pretty late at the moment. It's actually 2 AM. I guess it's time to go home. I mean, we'll drive a little bit more. Maybe in 15-20 minutes we will finish. Because it's really difficult to, you know, work and to go and not to sleep a lot. Okay. Blah blah blah, perspective, here more or less it's okay. Let's do it like that. Let's duplicate our layer here and let's see what we have. Does it make sense or not? Or it's just a piece of shit? Hi, man. I really not expect to stream it this time. Okay. Well, man, I can say the same thing. I mean, about the stream. I have a friend who is an actress, and actually, I guess maybe she is here. And I showed her The Witch, and she told that, whoa, it's a cool, let's say, tool. And she was very inspired by The Witch. She asked me today, will you be online? And I thought, why not? Why not to stream? So it was not a schedule thing. So I think I've started to say bullshit. So okay, let's see. So this, I like these angles better than this. I think I have to, but the colors here are better actually than here. So maybe it will make sense to go back to this angles. So maybe we should put our horizon somewhere here, so the perspective will match. It still matches actually, almost. Let's try it out. Because it will look more epic, I guess, and that's why I should do that. Something like that. Maybe move this guy over here. So actually the FOV is decreasing at the moment, and let's check. Well, why not? Actually, why not? Why not to have low FOV? It's a little bit unnatural, but in terms of concepting, it might be okay, I guess. In terms of concepting, it might be okay. This FOV. Especially for environments, it works because you need to show more and you try to emphasize the epicness of your look, let's say, because this looks more epic than this, obviously, and because of low horizon and lower FOV. So that's why I guess I will leave this guy rather than this. So we have a copy. So let's try to work with this and to adjust a perspective a little bit. Again, These are tiny details, but goddamn, they make sense, I guess. You know, there's a proverb, devil in the details, and there is another proverb which says the opposite. God is in the details, but actually the sense of this proverb is the same. So, you know, it's up to you. God is in your details, or devil is in your details. It's really up to you, but actually the details is important. That's that's what we really want to know. The details make a lot of sense, so we have to care about details. So let's care about our details, why not? Let's try to do it. Don't see the reason why we mustn't care about our details. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired, so I'm starting to saying shit. Just forgive me for that. Actually, this statue, look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at this. But I don't want to touch this statue because I like how it looks like. Okay. So let's check it out again. So actually these stairs could be old, so I think it's pretty okay that these stairs are a little bit not look new. These lines are not really into this perspective grid, so maybe it's really okay. So at least I don't care about it for a moment. So what I really care about is this brown color, which looks strange for me, to me, and because this goes from another palette, and I wanna repaint it a little bit. So it looks, I don't know, it looks brown. I don't want to like that. Okay, let's hide our grid and let's see. Let's check it out again. Now I guess it looks a little bit better. But actually this part maybe looks better than this part. I don't know, I will decide later, because now it's not a good time for this to make a decision. You know, I've noticed that when you work a lot on one painting, you start to repaint, remake, repaint, and then you have 4 paintings instead of 1 painting, and that's not what you really want to. What you really want to have is one finished painting which answer questions, and you don't want 4 unfinished paintings. So that's why I guess it's time to stop for now. So, what can you guys say? Was it helpful, or was it a piece of bullshit, or I don't know. What can you say about that? At least a screwdriver will obviously see something if he's online. I'm not sure he's online, but still. Okay, at least one guy. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you. I can't wait to see how are you creating your amazing spaceships and your amazing thumbnails. Just do it. Just download OBS and make your stream. If you have a good fast internet, like output, I don't know actually the name in English about this thing, but still. Are you streaming tomorrow? If you really need to. I mean, of course you don't need, but ni hao, man. At least if it's okay for you, if you have something in it, you like spending time like that. I think I will be happy to. Oh no, you can, if of course you can watch the this video because it will stay on Twitch Cloud, I guess, but it won't be such a fun, I suppose. So if I will be streaming, I'll drop you a message. You have downloaded your internet. Well, man, just check it out. At least download OBS, try to make a stream on Twitch, and you will have on Twitch control panel. I will show you. Whoops, sorry guys. I will show what I mean. I will show what I mean. So here is the Twitch panel, and you go here, and here you have your bitrate. And to have a good stream, you have to have 2000 and at least 2000 here to make a good stream, to make a high quality stream. And then you have to go to OBS. And guys, you will kill me a little bit, but here you have to place 2000 if you have 2100 here. Okay, so 2000 is okay. So if you have not so fast internet, then you have to decrease your quality of your video and your bitrate. But there is a lot of videos in the internet, on the internet, about this topic, so you can check it out and make your good stream. And just drop me a link and I'll be there, because I really want to see how do you how are you working on these spaceships. I'm speaking to Jocelyn. And I will buy a print with those spaceship because they are too cool. I love those spaceships. So it's actually almost 2 a.m. and it's really time to go home. Thanks a lot. Yeah, man. You're welcome. You deserve it. Oh, it's really difficult to stop, don't you think? It's not easy to stop painting. Please subscribe. Yeah, guys, subscribe, because, you know, I will watch your stream, Jocelyn. Obviously. So, I have to take my balls in my fist and make it, just stop painting. Okay, let's save it. Wait, 55. 55A. Guys, really, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to have you here, and I guess we are building a little community, and that's awesome. At least for one evening we just made something good. So thank you very much for watching my humble funny sketches. So thanks for stream, but I've missed everything. Man, you can watch it tomorrow. I mean in the cloud, in the Twitch cloud. Everything for you, my darling. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching, and really happy to have you. So maybe see you tomorrow, and have a good night, have a good day, peace, love. And draw sketches. Okay. See you. See you soon, sweetheart. What does that mean? That sounds strange for me, man. Especially when I recall your beard. It's really, really weird. It sounds like poetry. You know what I mean? Okay, it's time to stop. Okay, guys. See you. Thanks for watching.